Please bless me by giving me just one drop of faith with which to obtain the great treasure of the holy name of Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Krishna is yours. You have the power to give him to me. I am simply running behind you, shouting, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Just one comment before we go to some more. This is an important point for us. Krishna is yours. You have the power to give him to me. I'm simply running behind you, shouting Krishna, Krishna. What exactly does that mean when it comes to practicality? So the sadhus, Sharanagata Bhaktas, they have two things especially to offer to us from a practical standpoint. Their mood. And that mood includes everything. Their mood towards Krishna, towards devotees, towards service, everything. So their mood and their instruction for us. If we are imbibing their mood and living their instruction, these two are the points for the practical application. And then with that efforts, then slowly we will understand what Shuddha Bhakti means, and we will slowly try to practice Shuddha Bhakti. Okay, on that note, I'll stop sharing. And now I will go to Sambodhana Bhasha. I'll bring up that PDF so we can read that. But those who has joined new, are you able to see this, Mataji? Somebody, please?
No, not easy.
No? Oh, okay, let me share the screen. This is Srila Bhakti Thakur's Sambodhana Bhashya. And this is a commentary on Sri Sikshashtakam. Sri Sikshashtakam is our life and soul in our Shuddha Bhakti. Gauranga Mahaprabhu has clearly laid out a map for us. And Acharyas are giving an explanation of how to understand Gauranga's instruction. So we may be able to do Shuddha Nama Bhajan and Shuddha Bhakti. We have no grasp on these pure subject matters, but when the Acharyas are explaining us, then we will be able to understand what pure devotion means. So that's why we are reading from the Acharya's writings and then discuss and clarify whatever questions we might have and try to put it in practice. That's the whole purpose of this Mahajana Saena Panta, walking in the footprints of our Mahajanas. So that is the purpose. And now regarding Sambodhana Bhashya, I already mentioned that this is about Sikshashtakam. So Srila Bhakti Vinoda Thakura and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura, both of them has written in this book, and we will be hearing from them. So that's what we are doing. So far we have gone through all this section about Cheta Darpana Marjana in the very first sloka, and we have gone through this and we have understood how much just this first sloka encompasses the whole spiritual journey, starting from Cheta Darpana Marjana, means just cleansing of whatever unwanted things that we have in our consciousness, in our desires within, inside. Starting from that to, as the cleansing progresses, how the auspiciousness, more and more of auspiciousness is accumulated, and all these steps are gone through. Like the Kleshagni is gone, Bhavamaha Dhavagni Nirvapana, and then Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam. This is not just the knowledge that we read or hear from outside. Actually, Shreya Kaira Chandrika Vitaranam is the auspiciousness, Shreya. the auspiciousness in life blossoms as if the lotus blossoms on a full moon day. So not only our miseries go away, but the auspiciousness also enters and blossoms in our life. And the fourth flame of this Sankirtana Yajna or Harinam is Vidyavadhu Jivanam. This Vidya, this knowledge, this is a special knowledge. As we get purified and as we try to understand and practice Shuddha Nama Bhakti and Shuddha Nama Bhajan, whatever we have heard before, whatever we have read before, and whatever was left over as words and did not make so much sense to us, by this time, all that was said in the Shastra by the Acharyas, we start realizing. So realizing is something that happens within the heart. That change happens as we progress towards, in the spiritual journey. In the beginning, it is only the information that we are storing in our information box. But there is not much of realization and not much of change in the heart. But by this time, in our spiritual journey, as we go through, the realization also happens. So at that point, we don't try to put efforts to accumulate knowledge, to memorize something like that. But because of the realization that happens, you will be able to see it yourself. So it will be more effortless journey at that time. And then gradually down the road, Anandam Buddhivartanam. The joy actually begins when we start taking Sharanagati, completely start to depend on Krishna. That's something that we do not know yet. But as we progress down the road, we will get a drop of taste of what it means, depending on Krishna. The joy of Sharanagati. And when we are completely taking shelter of the holy name like that, then Anandam Buddhivartanam, our joy only grows within. Happiness is something we use in a material context when the miseries are extinguished. But the ecstasy and joy, spiritual joy, is beyond what happens to us externally. So all this also happens. Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadana. This Pratipadam, not only every mantra that we chant, but every moment of our life is filled with Purna Amrita Swadana, drinking the nectar. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, Kirtaniya Sadaharanid, Purna Amrita Swadanam, Pratipadam. So in this stage, for the devotee, this is by the stage of Asakti. Like that, the whole thing, whatever happens to them materially, is just on the background. That does not bother them so much because they're so much absorbed in the spiritual thoughts, spiritual absorption of how Krishna is with them and how wonderfully Krishna is reciprocating from within, from outside. So at this point, they're more like everything is Krishnamaya. That's why for them it's Purna Amrita Swadana. When everything is about Krishna for them, Krishna is nectar. And that's why they drink nectar. They experience joy at all times. Sarvatma Snapanam. Sarvatma Snapanam means they are totally absorbed and they are in the ocean, totally submerged in the ocean of Krishna Bhavana. Yeah. At that point, it is like they are in Krishna Samsara. Everything is about Krishna. And they don't see themselves as the center anymore. They just see how everything and everyone is Krishna's. And Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. So this is the glory of Harinam. When all of us get together, do congregational chanting, that is called Sankirtan, Kirtan together. But the other meaning of Sankirtanam is, you will see that we have read in the past too. The Kirtan that is done with complete, the whole self, with complete shelter. That is also the other meaning of Sankirtanam, complete Kirtanam, with our complete self, complete attention, complete faith, not anything half. So that complete Kirtan is Sankirtanam. Okay. So in the beginning, we are not having that Sankirtanam, but over a period of time, with the mercy of the Holy Name, with the mercy of the sadhus that are giving us the instructions, we will slowly, gradually get there from Aparadhanama to Namabhasa to Niraparadhanama. That will continue. So all this that is said here, that is promised here, they will happen to us from the very beginning, but maybe a droplet of it here and there. A droplet of, the cleansing can happen a lot. A droplet of happiness here and there, like that in the beginning. But as we go on, when the cleansing, a lot of cleansing has already happened, then there will be more of drops of ecstasy or joy of devotional service. Like that, we will perceive whatever is said here from the very beginning only, but it is the ratio varies as we go down. In the beginning, it's more of Chetodarpana Marjana, the cleansing and purification happens, and only a little droplet of Ananda Mudivardhana. But as we move on with sincerity, regularly, under the guidance, then it will be more of Ananda Mudivardhana, because a lot of purification, Chetodarpana Marjana, has happened. Okay. So that we already have discussed, and these are all the commentaries by Acharyas. At least we'll read the headings. How Holy Name is the path of perfection, and this is a philosophy of Holy Name, in the sense, who is Holy Name? Krishna himself. And the simultaneous oneness and difference of how, we are one with Krishna, but different Krishna. We are one with Krishna because we are also Satchidananda Vigraha. We are souls. But we are different in the sense we can be subjected to Maya, and Krishna is the master of Maya. And we have read about the categories of manifestation, that Bhagavan Krishna is Shaktiman, and he has one Shakti. But when that Shakti is helping us to get closer to devotion directly, that is internal Shakti. And marginal Shakti is, we are marginal Shakti, Jiva Shakti. All the Jivas are marginal Shakti. And we have an independence to choose either to do devotion or be in Maya. That is why it is called Tatastha. Tatastha means margin, means either this or that. We have a choice. If we want to think of Krishna, serve him, we will be putting internal energy. If we want to think of only us and see what will bring happiness to us only, then we will be putting external energy. So we are Tatastha Shakti or Jiva Shakti. External energy is something that makes us forget about Krishna. And also external energy gives us troubles. So the same external energy, when we realize when the troubles are coming, it is giving us messages that if you are in this external energy, you will have troubles like this. So better go towards internal energy. Better take up the process of Bhakti and Sharanagati. Go towards internal energy. So that can be the other message that we can get from external energy. But the characteristic of external energy is it will make us forget Krishna. And we will not have so much of inclination to serve Krishna when we are in external energy. So these are the three kinds of energies of Lord Krishna. Antarangika Shakti or internal energy, Jiva Shakti or marginal energy, and Maya Shakti or external energy. Then we talked about the liberated and conditioned states. If we are internal energy, that's a liberated state. If we are in marginal energy, if we are in Maya energy or external energy, then we are in conditioned states. What does the condition means? External energy means there is these modes are there. If ignorance comes upon us, then we will have ignorant qualities. If passion comes upon us, then we have qualities of passion. It's like this. When we enter into an AC room, of course, we're going to feel cold. And when we enter out into hot sun, then we will really feel hot. So we are conditioned like that. In the sense, in the hot sun, we are conditioned to feel hot. In a cold room, we are conditioned to feel cold. Like that, in external energy, under the mode of ignorance and passion, we are conditioned to feel pushings and pullings that give us miseries. So in that way, it is a conditioned states. And when we come to bhakti, those modes don't act upon us anymore. That's why it is liberated state. And this is a beautiful, beautiful one. A wonderful, wonderful one. Chanting is the soul's swadharma. So this is the beauty of Acharya Vakya. When we start to practice devotion, we hear so many things about bhakti. Everything is about bhakti. So where do I put my focus? What do I hear about more? What is my scale to measure if I am progressing in bhakti? Where do I invest my time and energy? Which anga of bhakti? There are 64 angas in bhakti. Amongst them, 9 angas are there, which are potent. And amongst those 9, which one do I choose? Where is that fountainhead from which everything else is coming? This is what the Acharyas say. It's the chanting. Because chanting or japa or harinam is Krishna himself. When we are chanting, we are with Krishna. Because harinam is Krishna. So being with Krishna is our swadharma. We are part and parcel of Krishna. And when we are doing japa, when we are taking shelter of the holy name, we are with Krishna. So this is the fountainhead. Chanting is the soul swadharma. And it may not be easy to do that kind of chanting in the 2 hours of japa time. But over a period of time, gradually when our japa gets better, not only in the 2 hours, we will be in our swadharma, but outside that 2 hours also, with the potency of the holy name, we can be in swadharma. And in that way, the holy name, potency of the holy name itself can keep us in our swadharma throughout the day and the night. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Kirtaniya Sadahari. So that's the potency of the holy name. That's the fountainhead. Not to forget, those are the roots. The greatest benefit, of course, the chanting. Yeah, this is the second one, please. This is the anga of bhakti where our relationship, eternal relationship with Krishna is revealed. Please note, again, 64 angas of bhakti are there. 9 angas are potent, especially in Kali Yuga. Which is the anga? Where do you realize your swarupa too in the spiritual realm? That is realized in the japa, in the chanting. So whatever we are reading in Srimad Bhagavatam, whatever Krishna Katha we hear, all that is to take us to this, to realize our eternal relationship with Krishna, Lord Krishna. And that is with holy name. Krishna Prema, pure love, is never selfish. All that bhakta with Krishna Prema, Premi Bhakta. All that they live for is to see how Lord Krishna can be pleased. That's it. So in their dictionary, there is no selfishness. Their dictionary is full of, every word is full of, how can I please Krishna? Yeah, that is Shuddha Bhakti. Yeah, so that's what we have discussed so far. And also, going to Vaishla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura. I'll quickly go over this also. Here is the definition, the absolute truth defined. It's a non-dual substance or Brahman. Yeah, Bhagavan, absolute truth is not just some light or consciousness, but it is a person, a conscious person, trying to reciprocate with us. And that very conscious person, the Lord, is in the holy name. And Japa, Kirtan, and Sankirtan. What are the differences? This is where we got the meaning of what Sankirtana means. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura gave that definition. We have just discussed, right? Sankirtan means complete Kirtan, complete shelter of the holy name, complete attention, complete absorption is Sankirtan. And so audible chanting in which the lips move is called Kirtan. And to take place in mind, chanting of mantra to take place in the mind is called japa. These are the same Harinam can be taken at 3 levels. One is audible, loud, where others also can hear is kirtan, and soft one where we can hear is japa when it is audible. And if it is done within the mind, that is manana. That's different kind of Harinam. But the quality, it has to be some kirtan. Even if it is loud and audible outside like kirtan or soft one or mananam, it has to be a complete one with total shelter. So that's the definition of Sankirtan. And look at this again. Sankirtana. This complete shelter cleanses the heart. In the beginning, we may not be able to take complete shelter, but with the effect of hearing from these acharyas and there is no substitute but to hear from them. And only that can bring us out from our mental talking, chaos, calculations, interpretations, all that. Or we'll have to just continue to hear from them. And this will displace whatever perception that we have had chanting means. Yeah. So Sankirtana, when we do the japa regularly with the guidance of these acharyas, that will slowly cleanse the heart. And these are the same things that we have discussed so far. It spreads the rays of the benediction of moon. This is Shreya Kairaka Chandrika Vitrana. This is Chetodarpana Marchana. So Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura was explaining about each one of them. What Chetodarpana Marchana means and what Shreya Kairaka Chandrika Vitrana means and what is Vidyavadu Jivanam and what is Anandambudi Vardhanam and Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam and how Harinam is Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. This is just a teaser for us. I know we might have completed this of what Srila Bhakti Siddhanta have talked about. All these 7 flames of Sankirtan. But when we return back we would like to hear from him again about what each one means. And then we will move on to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura's commentary on each of them again. Yeah, so that will be our plan. This was a quick summary of what we have discussed so far. I'm going to stop sharing this. And if you have any questions or reflections, anything, you may please put forward. Time to share now, and we may stop the recording now, please. Thank you. And by the way, next Thursday, this coming Thursday, we will not be having this Sangha of Acharya Vakya. We will meet again not even that Monday. That Monday also is going to be busy. We'll post on the WhatsApp group. Probably Thursday. Next Thursday, we will be having this evening Sangha with the Acharya Vakya. Just to let you know. But yes, please go ahead. I'm going to pause. I posted this PDF on WhatsApp group, so you may please go over that and see if that helps. And when we return, we can discuss. We can go at a slower pace, at a reading pace. Today is just kind of summarizing everything that we have done so far. But when we return, we will read everything and then understand and summarize and move on. It's more of a reflective reading today.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
So what we heard today, Mataji, was that how so there are 64 limbs of bhakti, and out of them, 9 limbs of bhakti are there. So and each one of them is